For this makeup tutorial, I wanted to do a 1960s inspired makeup look by Twiggy herself. She was an English model, actress, and singer who is known to be a cultural icon during the 60s, who played a huge role in defining the fashion industry in the late 20th century. I've become a lot more interested in makeup and the beauty industry in the last couple of years, so I've been trying to find any opportunity I can to learn about the history behind it, especially because in the 1900s, a lot of people in the makeup industry had begun experimenting with makeup through art, film, fashion, or really just in everyday life. The 60s signature makeup look could be described as consisting of a bold cut crease with heavy dark eyeliner and dramatically drawn on lower lashes. The 60s was a decade where the baby boomers were finding themselves through fashion and makeup. Hippie culture consisted of face and body painting, as well as wearing clothing that allowed people to express themselves. It was about rejecting modernity and the stereotypes put against women and men to look a certain way and embrace who you were through whatever medium you wanted. The feminist movement also re-emerged in the 60s to fight discrimination against women in America. I think even today there's a stereotype against women to look a certain way. If you're wearing too much makeup, then you're labeled as insecure, but if you don't wear any, then you're lazy and deemed as unladylike. I feel like the hippies movement was a way to steer away from labels and was a way to open up a conversation as to what makeup said about a person. I see it almost as a way of decorating yourself and using your own features to guide you. I think this decade of makeup also helped normalize makeup as a creative medium in general. The nice thing about makeup is that you really don't have to be professional to get creative with it. All it takes is playing around with different colors and products to find what looks and what techniques work best for you. Twiggy and this decade of makeup have paved the way for millions of men and women to mess around with makeup, try new things, and practice self-love through treating your own face as a blank canvas. Okay, so I'm going to start off by priming my sister's face, which is going to visually blur tone imperfections, smooth fine lines, and really help control the look of redness on the skin. I just used a little bit on each side of the face and smoothed it out, and as I was doing this, I accidentally pulled my sister's nose piercing out. I am so sorry, Tony, about that. But anyways, you basically just want to apply it before you start putting on any makeup. Okay, so now I'm going in with a Brighten-i eye cream by the Inkey. A man at Sephora kind of just convinced me into buying this as I was buying some foundation, but I'm honestly kind of glad I did. I'd never even used eye primer before, but this one really helps to eliminate dark circles and illuminate your under eyes before applying makeup. A little bit definitely goes a long way. You just want to dab it lightly onto your skin like Tony's doing. Next, I'm just using a Marc Jacobs eyeshadow primer. You can use foundation or concealer as well as an eye primer and apply just a small amount with your fingers. One just like small squeeze should be fine. But this is going to allow the eyeshadow and eyeliners we use to go on smoother and last longer. Okay, so now I'm going to start off by using this Maybelline Tattoo Studio eye pencil in the shade Smoky Gray. Before I start off, I just want to say this eye makeup tutorial is completely inspired by Erin Parsons. She's Maybelline's global makeup artist, and I really love all of her work so much, so I just thought it would be really fun to see if I could follow her own technique. So with the eye pencil, you just want to follow the shape of your crease to start creating a bold cut crease, and then use the other end of the eye pencil to blend up the line and evenly spread out the color. It doesn't need to be perfect because you're going to use a pointed Q-tip to clean up and sharpen up the line you've drawn on. Now I'm using another Maybelline Studio eye pencil in the shade Bold Brown. Twiggy was very heavy on dramatic eyeliner, so you want to apply this directly on your upper waterline while following the shape of your eye and extending the line into your inner and outer waterline, but downward instead of upward. This also doesn't need to be perfect because after I'm just going in with a pointed Q-tip, that's definitely going to help you create a clean and sharp line. As I'm doing that, I'm also just going in with the end of the eye pencil and a brush just to continue to smooth out and blend the line on top. As I'm doing that, I'm using that bold brown color on top of the crease just to make it darker and more dramatic. Using another eye pencil in the shade Polished White, I'm applying this all over the lower lash line, which is going to bring out the colors in her eyes while contrasting really well with the lower lashes that we're going to draw on. So Twiggy would normally paint her eyelids white, so I'm going in with the Polished White eyeliner. I just put some of it on my hand, and then I'm using a flat brush just to put it all over the eyelid, and then I'm going in with this Too Faced Natural Eyes palette in the shade Heaven, just to go over it and contrast it more and bring more depth to the color. So now I'm just doing the same thing on the other eye, going in with the Polished White and then with the Heaven on top. That is pretty much it for the eyelids, so now we're going to do the bottom lashes. So I used two colors. I used the bold brown and then now I'm going in with the polished white. You just pretty much are drawing straight lines down on the eyes. It doesn't have to be perfect again because I just go in with a pointed Q-tip just to clean up any harsh lines and make them a lot straighter, like into a triangle shape almost. Since the face isn't obviously completely flat, it helped me a lot to just kind of lightly press on my sister's face to give me a flatter base to work with. Moving on to the face makeup, I went with my sister's choice, the Anastasia Luminous foundation. Her shade is in 210. I mixed it with the Chanel highlighting liquid in the shade Pearly Glow. The Anastasia foundation is a really great medium coverage foundation. It's suitable for all skin types, vegan and cruelty-free. She really loves mixing both of these products because it gives her a fresh and radiant complexion. I just used a couple drops and applied it on the side of her face with this beauty blender. The beauty blender is supposed to evenly spread out and blend the foundation into your face to cover up any imperfections before applying any powder or concealer. So now she went in with her Fit concealer. You can pretty much just apply this anywhere where you want your skin to look brighter. This can be under your eyes, under your lips, above your eyebrows, or on your nose. And then she just went in with a beauty blender to blend it all out. So now my sister's going in with an Airspun translucent face powder. This is pretty much just a loose powder that's going to help minimize the appearance of any fine lines, wrinkles, or acne, or any scars or other blemishes that will give your skin a smoother and softer look. So now I'm going to be using the Bronzilla Bronzer to contour the skin. This is a really high pigmented moisturizing formula that's really good for all skin types. I usually just make my sister do a fish face and apply the product directly under her cheekbones with the Sephora bronzer brush to begin to add contrast and define the sides of her face, her forehead, nose, and jawline. I continue to blend until there are no harsh lines and darker brown has settled into her skin and face makeup. For her nose, I use a smaller pointed brush to define the sides of her nose. Before applying mascara, I'm using Shiseido's eye curler. Me and my sister have always had really short eyelashes that won't ever stay curled, so if you have the same problem, I highly recommend getting this eyelash curler. I've definitely noticed a difference. For mascara, I'm using this Maybelline Falsies Lash Lift that's waterproof. Along with a good eye curler, waterproof mascara has made the biggest difference to actually keeping my eyelashes curled throughout the day. This one has a thick brush, which makes it really easy to apply a couple coats and adds volume to your eyes. So next I use this NYX lip pencil in the shade Natural. I only use NYX lip liners because they last so long on my lips. They apply so beautifully and I'm pretty sure that most of them are under $10. So I start off by lining her Cupid's bow to carve out the shape that I'm going to be filling with lipstick. Then I do the same thing on the bottom before applying the color. For the lipstick, I'm using Maybelline Superstay Matte Lipstick in the shade Dreamer. Pink was a really popular shade for lipstick in the 60s and not a lip color my sister wears often, so I thought it'd be fun to try this out. I love this lipstick because it has an angled brush, which makes applying it on your lips a lot easier, and this formula is just really pigmented, which helps the color stay on a lot longer. So in Erin's tutorial, she put another color on top. This is the same matte lipstick, but this one is in the shade Loyalist. Mixing both shades makes for the perfect baby pink that was really popular in the 60s. For blush, I use my sister's Maybelline Fit Me Blush in the number 50. I use a blush brush from It Cosmetics when applying it on top of her cheekbones and angle the brush upward while blending it to elevate and lift her cheekbones. This blush is the perfect shade of rosy pink that applies smoothly onto the skin and blends seamlessly. Now that we're done with the makeup, we move on to the next step, the clothes.